Hello, fellow compatriots. This is your host, Roshan here, and today we are going to be working on the Gukko bird. Now, I'm just getting a few things ready, so just stay with me right for a sec. Da, 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 da. Yeah. Da, 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 da. Honestly, let me just move a few things over. Go.
Sticker Mule is the fastest and easiest way to order custom stickers.
Nope. Forgot that. You know what? We're just gonna play something that's ad free. I thought that was ad free, but I guess not. There we go. That will do it. Actually, wait a minute. There we go. I know I I had another bag somewhere. There we go. Oh, okay. I don't think we'll need any more. I think this is good enough. I honestly think that's good enough. All right, fellow compatriots. My goodness. All right. So, reason why I'm working. Hold on, let's turn this down. All right. Reason why I'm wearing gloves is mainly because my nails are a little bit messed up. So, for your pure moment of enjoyment, we're going to be working with gloves. I know, very fancy, if I do say so myself. Very fancy indeed. But trust me, there's good reason why we have these gloves. All right, give me a sec. Had to chat with another artist real quick. Okay, Burns. All right. I'm gonna actually adjust the mic so I can be heard a little bit better. I am actually gonna adjust the mic. I'm gonna do it. There we go. Yep, no, that has to be a little bit higher for me. I'm gonna actually fully extend it. There we go. Now y'all can hear me perfectly now. This is great. This is wonderful. All right, fellow compatriots, now we can actually start building here with our whole spiel of parts at our disposal for a Gukko bird. All right, we're gonna actually clear this out real quick. Yeah, the building space is a little bit packed, I will say. But not like too packed to be like egregious. That I will say. It's not too bad, but it could be better. No, I was working on this prior in the past, and I did do a few changes with the overall design and everything like that. So it was a late night build that I was working on. I stayed a little bit too late, which is why I'm doing the stream. But this was the mechanism, as you can see. And how this would work is you actually, there's a gear that rubs against, and it will turn the wings to go in different directions. Now, I think I know of a way to streamline this so that it can work much better in terms of the flapping and make the rate of it go a lot quicker. I'm still going to keep the 4 wings. I like the 4-wing design, but we're going to clean it up a little bit, and I think I know just how to do it. So we're actually going to be taking this design apart because it's actually a little bit too clunky for compared to what I would like. And we're going to compress it down into a 5-length sizing, basically. Yeah, and then that will go in there, and then we get another one. And I am going to make this Gukko bird very colorful. Rest assured, it is going to be the most colorful bird ever. Because birds are vibrant, they're beautiful, and I'm going to try to replicate that once I get the mechanism down. And the more compact I can make the flapping mechanism, the better. Because I grew up with the original set, and it was like a little bit clunky. I did like it a lot. Great swooshability. If you ever grew up with the set, you would know that, like, it was swooshable, but not only that, but you couldn't exactly orient the beak the other way. I tried to as a kid, but I had, like, a lot of difficulty, and we're just gonna actually go to something that it's more. We'll just use this for the background. I want to do Bionicle. Is there anything Bionicle related that's not copyrighted? Please. I need it. I need it for my soul. For my very being, my visage. We'll just put this on loop. There we go. Problem solved. We did it. All right, so I'm getting the old gray, which you can't really tell with this camera quality. It's actually very difficult to actually capture that. Again, I'm still in the midst of working on the studio, getting it underway. We're just gonna use bluish gray. Does it make any sense to use the bluish gray? No, but I have a lot of bluish gray and not a lot of the old gray, so. And also I'm working on something that looks better with the old gray anyways. So, I'm going to be utilizing that. All right. So we're going to take apart this massive thing that I put together. It's clunky, but it was a prototype. And it worked pretty well. And that just flew into the ether. Where did it go? It literally just flew into the ether. Oh, I found it. I found it. There we go. Okay. 1 sec. There we go. All right. Yeah, so I grew up with the Gukko bird. Loved this set as a kid, but since I'm revamping it, it literally just exploded, which is why we're revamping it. I actually made the Kahu bird in the past, and people really liked that, so I was like, you know what, I should make another bird. And although I really like this chassis, this is a nice chassis for having the gears be able to roll and turn. It's so nice. But it made me realize a mechanism that's way more simpler, and it can utilize the Borak neck pieces. Believe it or not, it utilizes Borak neck pieces. Why? Because I can and because I will. Because I don't think a lot of people use the Borak neck pieces all too much when it comes to mocks. It's one of those parts where it's like, you can use it, but why would you? And to that I say, because you can use it. All right, so we need something to fix it in place so it doesn't rotate. I'm trying to think here. And thinking, it's a very, very big brain thing that I'm very good at. I have the biggest of brains. My brain is so huge. You have no idea how huge my brain... Oh my gosh, I got an idea. My big brain is at it again. I got a massive big brain idea. I know what I must do. I know exactly what I must do. My brain is just so huge, you know, that I can't just come up with anything, truly. I have the biggest of brains. My brain power has no bounds. Like, this brain is capable of a lot of things. You'll be surprised about the things that this brain can conduct. You know, that's enough egotism for today. I think that's egotistical enough. I think I'm good. I think I should stop while I'm ahead. But honestly, anybody can build. Anybody can build, you know, at any skill level and what have you. And honestly, I'm kind of tempted to go ahead and grab some current day, like, Bionicle parts. Like, actually, there's no I meant current day Technic elements. I called Technic Bionicle, unironically, because that's what Technic is. It's still Bionicle at the end of the day. Y'all might find that a little funny, but that's how I see it. I still see it as, oh yeah, that's just Bionicle. Even if some folks may disagree, no, that's not Bionicle. And I'm just like, oh yeah, then what is it? Well, it's exactly Bionicle. End of discussion. Everything is Bionicle at the end of it. Oh my gosh. You know what? We're just gonna just enjoy pure ambience at this point. Just gonna enjoy pure ambience. I'm just gonna be chatting all the time in pure awkward silence. That is my existence right now. I was planning on having something peaceful in the background and so forth. I miss my ad blocker. I miss it. I miss it so much. I didn't pay for it. You know, it's like, it's pretty nice. It's free. Not sponsored. But boy, do I miss that ad blocker. I miss it so much. I miss it. I miss my wife, Tails. I miss her a lot. I'll be back. If you understand that reference, you are absolutely awesome and amazing and a beautiful human being. If you understand, you're already a beautiful, awesome human being. If you don't understand it, but I'm still gonna say that you are even equally, if not more, amazing and wonderful. If you actually understand that reference, that is like something that is like, whoa, you understand that reference? Whoa. Heck, hella based. Love that. That's phenomenal. That's amazing. Yes. More. Please. You know, all that good stuff. Love it. Enjoy it. Embrace it. Embroidle it. Embroidle. Okay, now we're getting a little bougie with these grammarisms. What am I saying? My goodness. I only just started building. Can I keep this energy up? Is it possible? Is it possible to know this power? This level of hype? Oh, I sure hope so. All right, so we got this going on. I feel like we're gonna do a... I think we're gonna have to actually do a Takanufa Usanui maneuver. We're gonna do the Usanui maneuver. What's the Usanui maneuver? It means asymmetrical building. That's what I mean. Asymmetrical building, just to get a connection the way that we wanted to, while it feeling classic and nostalgic, because it wiggles too much. And I know for a fact, if it wiggled too much, that is problem, because this is going to be moving so fast. This chassis cannot fluctuate at all. That is why I'm using Technic beams to hold it together, because if I use anything else other than some reinforced Technic beams, oh, it's gonna split. It's gonna flibble flopple all over the place, and that's not gonna be a lot of fun for anybody if it flibble flopples. Have you seen a flibble flobble? No? Well, good. You don't want to see the flibble flopples. If a flibble flobble were the flibble flobble, you know, that's like the anti-Bionicle cheese. When something flibble flobbles and falls apart, you don't want that. That's anti-Bionicle cheese. We want Bionicle cheese. And if we can get some Bionicle cheese by Usanuiing it, we will Usanuiing it. I'm just creating new words. How long can this go of new words? The Webster Dictionary is going to have a word for me for my crimes. Oh my goodness. Okay. All right. So, speaking about Webster crimes, let's go ahead and Usanui it. And by Usanuing it, we're going to do asymmetry. Why? Because reasons. I don't actually have a good reason except do it because I can, not because I have to. Just purely for the love of the game, for the love of the sport. If you guys can't see it too well, just let me know in the chat if you can't see it too well when it comes to working on the Gukko bird with its hyper-powered flappy floops. I'm going to give it the most flappiest of floops. It's going to be so powerful. I actually don't like these gloves. I might actually take them off. I have good-looking hands. Believe me, I do. I keep them well moisturized. Moisturize your hands as well as your nails. Unfortunately for me, because I wanted to yassify my nails, it is now a little scrunchy, and I don't like my nails scrunchy. I don't think it look good scrunchy, but I may have to let these grippers free. I don't think that's how. Is that how the term works? That is a bad term. I think that's a no-no. I think that was a no-no, and I said a no-no, and I feel bad for saying the no-no. Wait. Oh no. Yeah. Yep. I am a genius. I am smart. I am big brain. So put this here. However, there might be a chance for it to flex in this direction. So we're gonna actually. I feel like I'm trying to keep the frame narrow. I know that's going to rotate, and we can put a lever system there that goes back and forth. Matter of fact, let's go ahead and put the lever in now before we forgetty spaghetti, because when we forgetty for spaghetti, what was the word I said? Flooples? You a floople? I think it was floople. I can't be too certain, but I think I don't want to flooble it. Yeah, I don't want to flooble it. See, I invent new words just to forget them. I am truly the anti-Webster. Webster dictionary is going to have a word for me. I'll tell you that much. They're going to have words to say, and it's going to be a lot. And we're getting these hands free. See, I have decent hands. My hands are so soft. They're amazing. I love them. But the nails, not so much. We're not. I know I said, oh, my nails so bad. You don't look at them. Please don't. Do not look at my nails. We're going to use bright red because actually, no, we're not going to use bright red. I was thinking about using it, but then I realized that's a very bad idea. So what we're going to do... Wait a minute. It's moving super fast. It needs to be robust. Do we have another one of these? We're going to have to look for another one of these. We're actually... Because I just remembered it's going to be moving where you think you're going, Mr. Mike. Where you think you're going, Mike? You're not allowed to go anywhere, Mike. You're supposed to stay with me. You're going to stay with me for all eternity. For all of existence, in fact. Because that is... Well, it looks like we're going to use blue. Why? Because blue is the new gray, as they say. And also, I like blue. Blue is a nice color and one of those favorite colors that a lot of people in the fandom just seem to gravitate to. There's a reason why so many people bought Golly. And Either it was like a spiritual awakening, you know, it was either an egg-filled moment, or it was just like, hey, I just like the blue. I like the blue one. The blue one is actually kind of cool, not gonna lie. You know, and I say to thee, good job. Okay, so now we got a lever, it goes back and forth. However, due to the nature of it, we got a trigger mechanism basically, which means it's going to be able to flap. But to keep it compressed, this actually has to disappear. So we're actually going to put it right here. Hey. I have thoughts and opinions, and those thoughts and opinions vary greatly. I have lots of thoughts and opinions. We're actually going to do something unorthodox when it comes to Technic bodies, and that being, we're going to work in the halves. Yes, we're going to jumper the hummingbird body, because it's like a hummingbird with, I would say, swords. A hummingbird with swords. I think that's a fair assessment. Yeah, hummingbird with swords. All right. So we raise that up. That goes there. That goes back. Yeah, yep. Because it's going to sit in an awkward place, and we need it to fit in the frame pretty smoothly. All right. So we're just going to take all these Roxy legs apart, so that we can actually integrate the frame. Okay, we'll put in the gears after we actually set up the rest of this frame, because I feel like that's going to be important, very important, for me personally. I'm not so sure about all y'all, but for me, that'll be actually really nice. I would like that a lot. Oh, let's get the gear. Hold on. Without spilling everything everywhere, that will be so nice. I would love that. I would love that so greatly, to not spill everything as I'm working on this. We can do a blue trigger. We could do blue. I just keep grabbing blue. We're going to mix blue, yellow, maybe some teal. Make it very vibrant and colorful, and still keep the silver. I think that's going to be the play of the game in terms of cohesiveness and making it look nice. I think that will go a great ways away. All right. So we got that piece. We got the one piece. It's real. The one piece is real, chat. It's so real. Don't you see it? It's the one piece. The one piece that we need. Man, is that joke dead? It might be. It might be. All right. So we got, actually, wait a minute. We got some tan. Yes, we got tan. We'll grab that just in case. We're just doing random things and seeing what works and what don't work. So obviously the center body has to be this. It just has to be. No questions about it. It just has to. As per the rules, it has to. And I have a lot of pieces already. It's already looking like a bit of a mess. But trust me, it's going to get somewhere. It's going to get somewhere. You may not think it will, but it will. And it's going to look amazing when it does the thing that y'all might have expected it to do, which is be a bird. I know, crazy. A bird being a bird in this economy? Wait a minute. Can I could literally do the lump in the back. Oh, 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 oh. Oh my, oh, 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 I could do the thing. 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 Oh my goodness, I can do the thing. All right, so we're... All right, we're gonna put this here because we need the body to be kind of long. Yeah, I think that's fair. And then we can make a transitional point. And if we need to swap this out for actual handles, we can. But I feel like the handles are going to be up here on the top of the bird, while the character's just sitting on the... Should we make the saddle distinct? I feel like we should make the saddles more distinct on... for the Kolimatoran. I feel like they need to be more distinct. That is a good question. All right. Let's go ahead. So, and we're actually going to go ahead and do a 3 length or 2 length here. Reason being is because we're going to need to use some 4s. We had to convert it into 4s for it to actually have the seating that we want it to have, because Avmatoran not the Kolimatoran work in 4s. So weird. It's so weird when it comes to the seating, but it makes perfect sense in their own way. Yeah, so we need... I'm trying to think. Yeah, it has to be a 3. It has to be a 3. Do we have a 3 length Technic beam? We're going to go ahead and look for some 3 length Technic beams. If we do not, then I will be sad. I'm disappointed. But at the same time, I understand completely if we do not actually have it. Oh, I got one in black. There we go. Oh my gosh, I got 2 lengths, actually. Huh. That gives me an idea. That gives me an idea. Do I use the 2 length or the 3 length? The 2 length ones came out later. But using something that... Ooh. It's so tempting to use a 2 length Technic beam. It is very tempting. It's very alluring, I will say. It's like, ooh, I could do it, but should I? I don't know. Is it the Jedi way? Oh, wait a minute. No, we can do it. We can make handles for the other one. Yeah, so there's going to be a seat in the front over here probably, and then there's a second seat with another pair of handles. It all makes sense. It can stick up now. It can actually stick up now. There we go. So we got a place for handles. Yep. We got a place. Wait, why are you... That's not square. Why are you not square? Wait. Why are you like this? Why is this warped, actually? Wait, no, that shouldn't be warped. No, that doesn't make any sense. If it's like this... Oh, okay, now you're working? Okay. Okay, never mind. Never mind. We'll just keep it like this. Make it more structurally sound and everything. There we go. Is this what I intended? No, but will it work? Yes. Gotta love it. Oh yeah, we can use a longer Technic beam. Yeah, there we go. We'll use this one, and this can be used for the trigger. Honestly, to prevent it from actually jumping, we're going to actually use a 3-length axle, because I know when it comes to mechanisms that move really fast, sometimes axles like to slide. That people don't really think about it, but the axles do slide. If worked enough, they do slide. You would think that doesn't make any sense. Why would it slide? And it's like, well, go try for yourself, and then lo and behold, it slides. All right, and I think we're gonna go ahead at this end, and then yeah. I'm trying to get the lining just right. So that goes there. And that goes there. And there we go. We got flapping wings. We got them flapping. Call me Flappy Bird, because I got some bird wings that do flap. And we're going to change this design a little bit. Just a smidge, just to allow for the actual wings to actually wing. Because I did notice an issue when it came to the... other part. All right. So... Oh, yeah. I remember now. I remember. So it was like this. Boom, boom. All right. And yeah. Yep. All right. So that goes there. That goes there. There we go. Now we're thinking with portals. Oh, hold on. I think I had it right the first time, where it's like kind of flared out. All right. Got the wing here in this orientation. If this pulls back... Oh, that's going to pull... Okay, so... Yeah, we had to start it with it pulled back. because I needed to have a rest state. Trying to figure out the rest state. That is like very important. And then we get the Borak neck with its conjoined adapter. Do that. There we go. Now the wing is flapping the way that it ought to be. There we go. And then we just repeat that on the other side. It took me a while to figure it out. I will admit, it did take me a while to figure out this mechanism and make it as compact as it is. It's going to move really fast, though. And I do notice that the gears are kind of like, oh, let me just go ahead and do my own thing. And I'm like, please no. Please don't do that. Please no. All right, let me actually get the other wing actually assembled partially so that I can actually continue on with the rest of the mechanism. And then we need to get a pin. Put that in there. There we go. We got our connector. And we got that. So let's move all this out of the way so that I do not confuse myself at all. And we can put the camera a little closer so y'all can see pretty well what's happening here. And we're going to go ahead, do that. No. And there we go. And then do that. And then do that. All right. So that's secure. Okay. Nope. We had to actually change that a little bit. Hold on. Just a smidge. So that the gears line up properly. There we go. That's pretty good. I do like that. That looks organic. And of course, we'll put the set dressing on it, make it look really good. Considering we can make this trigger a bit longer, have this loop over and around, just so that we can actually get this secured and bracketed in, because as it stands right now, it wants to split apart this way. We need to have it actually encased so that it doesn't actually split when it's moving very quick. That's the issue when it comes to these bird rahi, I noticed, is that they really do like to, when I put a gears mechanisms in them, they really like to split apart. And especially for something that's going to be moving at a high frequency. Reinforcing that is a lot more difficult. And this one doesn't have as many moving parts as the Kahu bird. The Kahu bird is very reliant on the tension of the parts. It's very tension dependent, if that makes any sense. That just gave me a thought. This has to... There needs to be a tapering. There needs to be a natural tapering. I just realized that. This part has to taper, but then there has to be an ink... Oh, I think I know what I gotta use. I know what I gotta use. I'm gonna have to use one of these, have it be angled, and then it's kind of like a faux... A faux... Yep. I figure it out. I big brain. I figured it out. I I need a part separator. Where's a brick separator when you need one? I actually genuinely need one. There we go. We got a brick separator. There we go. So we got the flapping mechanism. I'm going to probably put longer axles here and then put spinning... put longer axles so that I can put potentially some tubing to go along so that it can flow naturally with this mechanism. So it's more organic, despite all the things that I got going on for it. So that would make it a 7 length. These are 9. This is a 7. Do I got another 7? I should have another 7. Let me put the 9s away so that I can actually grab myself a 7 and integrate those as intended. Yeah, we're going to grab a 7. And then we're going to get some dark gray double female axle connectors. We're going to put that in either side. And I'm just building this off the top of my head because now that the mechanism is done, what we're doing now is reinforcing it and using we're making art. We're making art. That's we're artifying the framework so that it actually doesn't look as chunky. Because one of the worst things you could do with a Rahi build is make it feel like slapped on, unless if that's the direction that you want to go with when it comes to play features. You never want it to feel slapped on, which is why I always try to build different variations of a gear mechanism before I actually make the finalized design. It is very much a song and dance situation when it comes to stuff like that. But it's very rewarding. It's very rewarding. Okay, so we got that. I think we got 2 loose pins that we can use in conjunction. Do I have that in this pile? If not, then I'm going to have to grab more pieces to throw in the pile. That's another thing. Whenever I'm building a mock, I always end up grabbing more pieces than I actually need. And there's a method to my madness. It's mostly like out of like, hey, what's a good shape to utilize? Because working with Bionicle, it is a very abstract art medium. Not a lot of people really think that until they actually start building with it, and they're like, oh, okay, so you can't like try to look at things a certain way. You have to make them look and feel like another sort of way. But there is a catch to it, because some parts people will just immediately distinguish them for what they were originally used for. So trying to make it look like something else despite it being the same part, that's where the tricky part is when it comes to certain parts. But if done right, it will flow naturally and no one will know the difference. So we got this here, and now we can put 2 tubes. We flow them back so that it looks more natural as we get the flapping mechanism going. So already got the gear mechanism, got some Borak necks in conjunction to it. Looks pretty good, all things considered. And then we can put the 2 pins here, because I am planning on putting some actual tubing, and that would look lovely in my personal opinion. All right, now to actually take this part off. And then, oh, come on. Oh, come on, me. Come on. You got this. You got this. I could have done a bit better in terms of announcing this. This was a very last minute thing. I will say this was very last minute on my end, and I do apologize for no prior announcement or posting as much. But life has been very busy and very hectic. So I do apologize in advance. I am a very busy person. All right. Let's go ahead and see what we got over here. So what I'm going to be also doing for this, I might fill it out. I had this toy as a kid. This set. There we go. Yeah, I was able to make the gears jump, which means this needs to be more secure than it already is. Which I suspected, but the fact that that is a thing makes me a little concerned. Okay, that tapers a little bit too much and skews the view. I wish there was like a curved part that I can use so that it doesn't like interfere with the shaping, because that's what I'm fighting with right now is the shaping to make it look decent without it. Because if I get this and I taper that, that's just going to look way too bulky and thick. I feel like the chest has to be the way it is, and I just had to figure out a way to make it feel more secure and integrated without it flexing as much. That seems to be the reality of the situation that I am facing with right now when it comes to this play feature. Yeah. So I'm thinking we're going to use a 5-length. We're going to use a 5-length axle. Shove it in here where we've done the... What did I call it? Where I Usanui'd it. Yeah, I basically Usanui'd it. And try to make a frame. I'm going to probably design it similar to that of a bike when it comes to the framing and the structure of it, so that it's more robust and more sound. Because right now, it kind of wants to fall apart, even if I don't want it to fall apart. But that's what it wants to do. So I'm fighting that. Because I know it will fall apart if I start flapping it aggressively. And that is something that I'm trying to avoid to the best of my ability. So there we go. We got that. What we're going to be doing is we're actually going to use Technic elements that are going to be angled. And we could maybe even integrate it into what will be the handle. I can see that working, honestly. Seeing it be integrated into a handle. So if we... maybe a 4? I don't know. A 4 might do it. Hold on. How does a 4 look? Because we can even do the wing feathers now. If we get the angle just right. When it comes to the halves. It could be done right. We have the technology. It can be done. We have the technology. It's possible. Believe me, it is. Just had to get there. That's the issue. We just had to get there. Without having to worry about gears jumping, that would be so nice. That would be so nice, not having to worry about the gears jumping all the time. Wait a minute. Oh my gosh, I solved the problem by pure coincidence. I solved it by pure coincidence. What I mean is, this lines up perfectly with that. And that can be encased. Wait a minute. Wait, that I did not just accidentally cheese that. I accidentally cheesed it. Oh, yes. Oh, I love this. Oh, yes, 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 yes. Wow. Wow. That's wild. That's wild. I actually kind of made it work. That is wild. It works. It just works. That is... All right, we can put the wings on. We can start working on adding the wings and the detailings and so forth. Yeah, that's... Oh my goodness. Oh my goodness, fellow compatriots. We actually did it. We actually did it. And then that goes right there. And then the same goes for the other. Oh, come on. You can do it. You can do it. Yay! There we go. Wait, why do you jump? You weren't supposed to jump. That's actually concerning that it was actually able to jump like that. I thought No. That's the thing why I don't like these gears. They always like to jump. No matter how reinforced I make it, it always jumps. Every single time. But you know what? At least we have a Gukko bird. Like the body of a Gukko bird. We got the main frame of it done. We're going to put the orange feet on it and everything. So it's going to look lovely when it's all put together. But still, that bugs me. That bugs me to no end. That really does bug me. All right, we're going to put the trigger... I feel like having the handle here and the trigger there makes the most sense. So we're just going to incorporate the trigger right here for simplicity's sake and also for my own sanity. There we go. There we go. We got the trigger. That looks good. And the rubber band should hold it in place when it comes to everything else. Let me actually put in the connector and then the neck so that we can actually have this integrated in. I was planning to put tubes in, and I might still put the tubes in. But I may not actually have to put the tubes in. I might not. I'm still gonna do it. I think I'm gonna do it. The tubes look too nice. I like tubes. I like tubes. Tubes are cool. All right, so we're gonna actually put that there. And we're gonna get this integrated in. Oh yeah, he had it had a curve to it in the front. We're gonna still add that curve piece. I remember that. It curved a bit. Did it use a hold on? I'm pretty sure it used like a Roxy. It did use a Roxy part for the spine. But it's not as elegant as what we're doing. This Gukko bird is a lot more elegant in terms of shaping. It's a lot more sleeker, so we might not even have to do that. I made it sleeker. I don't know how I did that, but I made it sleeker. Well, I know how I did that. Of course I know how I did that. Why wouldn't I know? I am big brain. Truly the biggest brains. Truly. We're going to use orange highlights still. I do like the orange. It's much more vibrant, I feel, than the traditional flaming yellow. Not the traditional burning. Yeah, than the traditional burning orange. It looks better. It just looks better. Personally speaking, it just looks better. All right, we're gonna actually put the handles there, and the handles will also act as a point for which the curve doesn't like shift or change for the Gukko bird in terms of like the curving detailing that I'm also adding in just for the sake of fluidity of the build, as one does, of course, naturally, of course. And yeah. Wait a minute, I could just put a socket in here. Do I have an orange socket? Asking for a friend. Do I have an orange socket? If I do, I will be so happy. Oh my gosh, I have an orange socket. Let's go. Let's freaking go. We have an orange socket. Yes. The orange actually pops. I actually do like the orange. I think the orange works really well, unironically. Yeah, and then that goes there. Socket goes down. Yeah. Yeah. Yeah, it just works. It just works. It just works. That's wild. That is honestly wild how well that just integrates in. That actually looks really good. I actually do like that. This just screams Gukko bird now. It really does scream Gukko bird. I like the vibrancy. It gives it like a sense of youthfulness, if that makes any sense. Like it feels youthful. I don't know if that's a weird thing to say, but it just feels. It has a sense of euphemism in it. All right, we're gonna actually put 3 links, but we're gonna do it in the light gray just so that like it blends smoother. There we go. Oh yeah, we were supposed to add that. Oh, we can put the mixel joints, the toe ball for that detailing. That's right. We can literally do that. We can literally do that. Hold on, let me grab. We're literally Matanuing. We're Matanuing it because if you remember in the Matanui set, from Glatorian Legends, that one specifically, that one in particular, that's the one I'm talking about. So in Glatorian Legends, if you didn't have the set, what Matanui does in terms of its lake construction is it uses these toe ball pieces to link up onto the actual lake itself, just to secure it in place so it doesn't flop all the time. And lo and behold, we're doing something very similar here, where we're putting this part on. Oh, I forgot. I forgot something very important about this mechanism. It's gonna smack. You know what? Maybe it will make a nice percussive sound. You know what? Yeah, it might make a nice percussive sound. You never know. Let's give it a try. Let's see if it makes a nice percussive sound. If we like the sound, then we'll keep it. If we don't like the sound, then we get rid of it. Yes, using Lego to make sounds. Did you know that Lego can be turned into an instrument? Do you know that birds are also musical? They're very musical. Birds are so musical and majestic creatures. It just comes off stiff. Yeah, it comes off stiff and it doesn't flap all too well. And it wants to keep splitting because we don't have the bottom side secure. But that's the price we pay for a Gukko bird. That's the price we pay for Gukkos. Yeah, the fact that I am actually... Oh... But like, this could be used for the handles easily, and you just... Can we just move this a little forward? Because we're on to something with this. I like this. I like this design. All right, we're going to take this off, and we're going to reintegrate it in because there is something that I would actually like to do. There we go. There we go. Plop that out, and we have to push this out now. And then we're going to have to fix the gears again. Yep. There we go. Secure that. Again, like, I'm just pushing this together and it's holding it. But due to the factors in play, can't really secure a design like this all too well. Unless you want to stick to the OG design, which I don't want to do. Actually, I don't want to do that. But I may have to. It's either that or make this bulkier and use the... Oh, but I can't because the design depends on the hollowness of the Borak. Oh, I love this. Oh, I love this. I love this so much. That is sarcasm, by the way. That is sarcasm. That is pure, unadulterated sarcasm on my part. Because, ladies and gentlemen, that is a sound that someone makes when the brain hurty from too much thinking hard. And when brain think too hard, things happen. Lots of things happen when brain think too hard. Just trust me. Big brain, big hurty. Wait. But I can't do that. Because we're working with 3s, not with 2s, and then that's gonna... Why are you like this? Why are you like this? There is no reason for you to be like this, but you are. Why? Who asked? Wait a minute, I could just... I think I got a Salulu for my own Delulu. I got a Salulu for Delulus. Alright, my Salulu for my Delulu is actually quite simple. We get a 3-length axle. We attach this through here in this hole. This ends up like so. We'll probably put a bushing in the middle. We connect that on with a pin in the inside where we can't connect anything on the outside. And then this just comes in really close in the front here and just makes the other attachment point. Now, what that means is that we may lose the ability to actually have the handles on the side, which I would like to have the handles on the side. I think that would be the best thing one can do. Because I really like the handles. I do. It's one of my favorite parts from The Mask of Light was the handles. Brain, work for me. I am. Come on, brain. You got this, brain. Just how to use my big brain, and then I can come up with an idea with my big brain. And also the gears keep jumping. I want to fix it because I know I'm going to be flapping it relentlessly because of my inner goblin child, inner spirit is going to be having me pull the trigger relentlessly. Kind of like how people like to make the Borak do the jackhammer gimmick. You know, it's very addicting. Or doing the mandibles in the Visorak, that is also very addicting. And I wanted to have the same addicting factor without worrying about it falling apart. And I thought this was secure. I legit thought this was secure. But no. Because it has to be perpendicular connection. But I can't do that because it might make things too clunky. Can it actually make things too clunky? Maybe not. Maybe not. Maybe there's a chance. Maybe there is actually a chance. I might be able to actually fix that. I might actually be able to fix that. Hold on. I might actually... I'll just focus on the neck at a later point. We'll figure the neck out later. Right now, I'm focused on making the gears not explode on me. And I'm limited by my part selection because, as we all know, your host Tripchon here is low on Technic because I like to use a lot of Technic. I do. My Technic needs have no bounds, and we could probably use this. Oh, that was actually that makes it look so organic doing that. Wait, what? Oh, but it will get in the way of the trigger. We can't have that because that gets in the way of the trigger. I like this idea, but it gets in the way with the trigger. Did it have handlebars in the like footrests in the back? I'm pretty sure it did. I'm pretty sure the Gukko bird had footrests for a Matoran. Like maybe we can spread it on the display it. What's the word? Those are too short. Needs to be longer. And I'm running out of dark colors. I am running out of dark colors. And I might as well use lime because lime is the closest thing I got right now. This is a number 9. We got 2. Okay, that's an 11. Do we got a nut? Okay, we got 2 11s. Okay, we got 2 11s. Let's do it. We got 2 11s. Oh, the potential. It's in my hands. I can feel it. I can taste it. All right. So that will go in there, and that will. Yeah. All right. So get the old gray, hook that there, plop that over, hook that over. Yeah. And that would keep the axle from actually sliding out. That would actually make sure that it doesn't slide out. All right, so there is actually a lot of promising prospects about doing this thing. That makes me want to do it even more now. So that was a 7. We put number 7s in here, which means we need number 8s. We need 2 8s. And then we'll be good to go in terms of support and framing for this. Oh, that's red. No, we need it in black. There we go. So we got a number 8. We're going to go ahead and actually grab these elements here. I'm going to get 2 of them, and that's just going to hook in the front just to compress it. And then we're going to do the same, something similar in the back as well. Because we don't want it to be too blocky. That's one of the things that I'm trying to avoid here. We don't want it to actually feel too blocky, because if it feels too blocky, it kind of breaks the illusion that it's a bird in terms of how elegant it is shaping-wise. Because we're fighting with the proportions of the wings. That's what's happening realistically, is we're fighting with those proportions. So we always have to factor that in when it comes to these designs. There we go. We got that in. And then second verse, same as the first. We push this axle through, pushing the old one out. There we go. We grab this, integrate that there, and we need another one. There we go. All right. So that will go right in there, just like so. It's going to be free spinning. And then grab this. Boom, boom, boom. And now we go ahead and attach a part here that extends up. Matter of fact, we could... No, we'll just stick with the silver. Stick with the silver. So we got... We'll just use the gray. We'll just use gray. We're using gray for this, so we might as well stick with the gray. There we go. And now we got 2 blue pins. We put them down here, and then 2 black pins up on top. So that we can actually secure this even more so that when we do flap the wings, we don't have to worry about gear jumping as much. But the only issue is if they do somehow jump, had to take a good part, take it apart a good ways. It's the only downside. Just to fix it up. There we go. Put that there. And there we go. And there we go. All right. So that's secure. That works profile-wise without it feeling too messy. It doesn't feel too messy. It could be better, but all things considered, it looks more secure and robust. And then we can just add this there. Yep. And honestly, we could put another angle 2 element with a pin so that we can actually add some like custom tubing for the tail to make some natural fluidity. Because we have that option now. We actually have that option to do that. You know what? We're going to actually use... We're going to 2008 it. We're going to 2008 it. I think if we go ahead and actually integrate these two. There we go. Boom, boom, boom. We go ahead. Add that in. And then add that in. There we go. That feels more better. And then we can just make it feel more organic. We're going to have to bulk out these wings, though, because they're going to actually start feeling rather small relative to the size of the body. That's the only issue now, is the size of the wings themselves. We can expand it out easily. We're going to have this still be in the center part, but when it comes to adding like the joints and so forth, those are actually going to be integrated a little bit differently. Yeah, they're going to be integrated a little bit differently. But not by too much. Not by too much. There we go. And we've been straining for like about for quite a while now. It's weird that I haven't seen a single comment, though, after all this time. Usually there are comments. Let me go ahead and check something here. Da, da, da. I don't care. I don't care. I don't care. I don't care. All right. Knock, knock. Knock, knock. Okay, it does work. Knock, knock. Okay, it does work. Yay! Okay, it does work. Yay! Okay, it does work. Yay! What? What's wrong with my phone? What's wrong with my phone? Okay, it works. It works. We're just gonna stop the echo. We're gonna stop that echo real quick. All right. At least everybody can hear me perfectly fine. To a degree, of course. To a degree. I wish there was a more elegant way of doing this, but you know, it is what it is. It is what it is. It's a at least the wings aren't in a weird place where it's like a little bit too low. At least now it's like actually in proportion with the rest of the body instead of hanging like, extremely low. So there's that now. All right, so we got the wings. And it would be cool to add these in, honestly. But probably going to save that for other detail. We need to work on this trigger. This trigger actually needs to be updated now. How do we make the trigger better? Because I'm thinking grabbing this bad boy, hooking up to these pins, and having the lever mechanism that way. You know what? We're going to do that. We're actually going to do that. Which means disassembly and then reassembly when it comes to the whole frame. What? You know, I really like giving myself a hard time. That is honestly impressive, all things considered. All right, we're going to put a hint of red in the neck. And because there's going to be orange there anyway, so it's going to look decent having that red in there. In terms of color layouts, it's going to look decent. All right, let's actually get this trigger out, replace it with the new one, integrate these in. There we go. There we go. Actually, you know what? We can make a bigger trigger now that I think about it. It could be a lot bigger. Don't I have old gray? I should have an old gray trigger. We're gonna give it a big trigger. I could have sworn I had an old gray. I guess not, but it's fine. It's fine. It doesn't bother me. Doesn't bother me. Definitely doesn't bother me. All right, we put the trigger right here. Boom. Boom. And then that goes there. And we get a what? No, we need a 3-length. We need a 3-length. What am I doing? What am I doing? I need a 3-length. This is crazy. This is purely unadulterated, chaotic. There we go. Got a mechanism going on here. Yay. And the trigger works. Nice. 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 Very nice. All right, so we're going to put that there. That looks natural. Where are you, buddy? Where are you? Buddy? Thank you. There we go. First try, and then second verse, same as the first. We secured that into place. Come on. Work for me. There we go. There we go. We got a button. We got a trigger. It's amazing. Look at that. It's an actual trigger. And then now we can actually integrate this into the frame at some capacity. I don't know how yet, but we will. We will. We have the technology. We can rebuild it. There we go. So we got a little bit of red there. And we can probably add a gradient of some kind so that like it's not as apparent and feels more natural. Because the legs actually would have to go over here, which is why I did this frame anyways. Because like, hey, the legs realistically would go over here or something like that. Which means they have a thing that's... I think I know why they didn't add feet. I think I know why they didn't add feet. The trigger is so happened to be placed in a very awkward position. Oh, that's not ideal. But, you know, we've been going on for quite a while now. I'll probably work on this later. At least we got, like, let's at least try to get this part actually attached. I want to at least get this attached. It would be nice to have it attached. That would be so nice. We're going to aim for that. We're going to try to get it attached. There we go. Probably do this number. Boom, boom, boom. Yeah, you know what? Yeah. Oh, wait a minute, but... I'm going to put a modern piece in. I'm going to do it. I'm going to put a modern piece in because I need to make a connection point that I otherwise would not be able to do without a current part. We're just going to put one new piece in there. I don't think the universe is going to blow up by me adding one new element just for the sake of things. I think it will be fine. I don't think the universe will implode. If the universe does implode, I take full responsibility, kind of, sort of, for that regard. And I do apologize for the fate of the universe. Okay, let's get number 2 links on either side over here and actually get that integrated in. How? Okay, so something that would be nice, I would say, when it comes to like making Rahi is me having more Technic. I know, crazy thought, crazy, truly. But the reason I bring this up is because, like, I use a lot of Technic pretty frequently. Like, Technic is one of those elements that you kind of use quite a lot without really realizing it. If that makes any sense. It is one of those parts that is used a lot, is Technic. Because that's what most Rahi utilize, and even quite a few Bionicle mocks is Technic at the end of the day. If I had more Technic, oh, I would get away with so much. You see, now because of that swoop, and the neck is going to be right here. Does it floop a bit? Yes. But does it look better? Yes. I'm going to put the handles from down, swoop back, and it's going to look nice. So we're going to actually add some handles now. It's going to look lovely. It's going to look wonderful. Because I do enjoy the handles that this bird typically has. All right, we need a bag with the angle elements, so I'm probably going to go ahead and grab some just to be on the safe side here. Just grab a few. All that fun jazz. We're gonna actually do it in. I wish we had more silver. Do I have another silver angle element? We do not have another silver angle. Gosh dang it. It would be nice if it was in silver. I'll just use the light gray. I'll use the light gray. Doesn't make sense, no, but it's literally the only one that I have. Wait. Yay! I actually found some silver. I actually just found some silver. Yay! We have 2 silvers. We can put the handlebars on now. There we go. We got the handlebars in the back. We're gonna put Borak teeth just to create the handlebars just a little bit better, so it looks more natural. Oh my goodness! I like this so much. Oh, I like this so much. This is nice. This is very nice. Actually, you know what? I didn't even need to. Oh, no, I did need to use that. Yeah. Wait a minute. All right, we're just going to put a 4-length. Do I have a 4-length? I should have a 4-length in here. I'm literally buried in so many parts right now. Yes, I do have a 4-length. There we go. 4-length achieved. Let's get some Borak teeth and get the handlebars in. As you do, you know, you gotta add some Borak teeth because, like, look at that. Look at that. You add the Borak teeth, and that creates the handles. That feels very Bionicle already, having the handlebars like that. It's so good. I love it. It just screams Bionicle. Just that one little detail, and then it's like, boom. Bionicle. And I had to murder a Bionicle for this Borak tooth. It was necessary. It was a necessary sacrifice. But now we have the handlebars, which the Matoran can grab onto. And it's posable too. So, like, deploy mode, and then it can be folded up. And it looks so nice folded up too, and it doesn't interfere with the gearbox at all. Like, it can still flap and everything. But then you could just still deploy the handlebars. Oh, I love this. I love this so much. You could still deploy the handlebars. It's one of my favorite things right now. This is amazing. I love it. All right, so handlebars, success. Should I add tubes? Yes, I should add tubes. I'll probably put tubes along the side here after I make some connection points for seats, because there needs to be seats realistically for the Matoran. Because there should be room for 2 seats for Takua and Jala, respectively. And I will make the proper seating for that. I am not going to just be like, yeah, no, we're not going to put seating. Yes, we are going to put seating. Because that's kind of important. That is really important. The thing is, though, I could easily put a saddle on it. I really could if I really wanted to. I can make it look like a saddle. To be fair, there wasn't really much of a saddle on the original design. It is a tempting idea, though. I might actually do that. It is very tempting. I might actually do that unironically. I might actually do that because that would be actually a lot of fun. All right, fellow compatriots, I think I have gone on long enough. So I will probably chat with y'all in the future. Again, I will be working on this a little bit more. And if you want to go ahead and check out Ascended Depths, I have a whole toy line and everything like that. Highly recommend go to ascendeddepths.etsy.com. See for availability when it comes to Voriki or Talus or any other character that might be on there. Not only that, but there is also the Ascending Depths Media website. Highly recommend checking it out. Again, that's www.ascendingdepthsmedia.com. And also for the Etsy store, that is www.ascendingdepths.etsy.com. So be sure to go ahead and check that out. But anyways, that is all for now, and I will see you in the next video. Bye, guys.